My EcoFlow Wave, I've had it above 2 years. What's my thoughts on it? Do I like it? Would I buy it again? So this is the battery unit and the connection block. So that will sit nicely just there on my unit. So this just slides on. Can be a bit tricky. Just to make sure it's in the right position. It says EcoFlow Portable Air Conditioning Car Vent Seal. So you've got 2 vents to stick your pipes out of, and it velcros on. It's got magnetic bits as well. Mine's a big window, so, but there's a window behind that, look, so it doesn't really matter. I just need to find something to fasten that bit, stop it flapping. So there is where the hot air goes out. I have got a piece of foil that I put around this to protect these curtains. So if anybody's starting to worry, this is not how I normally leave it running. I normally stick the foil in first. So that goes straight from there. They do advise to use a pickup, suck air in. I find when it's really hot outside, it's pulling red hot air in to the vent at the back here, where it could be using the cool air that's in here. And we are getting a little bit of ventilation from this little hole here, so it's not as though you're kind of sucking all the air out of the campervan, because that's impossible because the campervan's not sealed, so you can't do yourself any damage. I run it in the house like this, just with the one pipe out the window. That's the pipe coming out. I always angle it down just in case we do get any rain, then when it's not filling up with water. So this is the water pipe. When it's sat where it is now, it fits nicely just out the window, so it's going to run down the side of the van. Shut this door and switch it on, and then I'll tell you the story of this EcoFlow Wave, which is the second one we've had. So to switch it on, you have to power the battery. So you press that until the battery comes on. There you are, all your lights. This is where you can charge other things off it, but the USB doesn't seem to work. The little one for the USB-C works, but this one doesn't. So I think somebody else has had this problem as well. It used to work and then it stopped working, but this one's never worked on this unit. I think it worked on the other one that I sent back. So then you just quick tap on there and it should come on. There we are. Right, so I've got my phone and I've got the app on the phone. I'm going to take a few screenshots of different things to talk about, and I will put them up just here so you can see what I'm talking about. This is on manual 3 bars, but if I put it onto nighttime mode, you should be able to hear a difference in the sound. Sleep mode. Did you hear the difference? So that's what it'll be on all night. So the most important thing now, especially with this humidity, because the sweat is dripping off me, is to put it into drain mode. External drain, that's that pipe. So I've put that into that now. So any water now will be being pumped outside. If I wanted to switch it up, I have got a max. Well, that's nice. Blowing on my face, that's really nice. But if I wanted to save this battery, I need to put it on eco mode, and then that's gone straight back down. This shuts itself when it goes down a bit. So above 2 years ago, towards the end of the summer, I decided to buy this EcoFlow Wave air conditioning unit. But just after I bought it, I tested it, I did a short review. So I did a run through of how the EcoFlow worked, and 1 or 2 things that perhaps other people had said on the videos about it. After only a few uses, the weather changed. So it got packed away, and then we got to winter, and so of course you don't use it, even though there is a heating element in this, so you can use it as a heater. But I don't very rarely go away in the winter, so I didn't need it. So we get it out in the summer, the following summer, and we had one of the heat waves like we're having now, so I rigged it up in the bedroom because you can sleep through it. It's really good. We enjoyed one or two really nice, cool nights where everybody else was toasting, and then all of a sudden it started making this horrible screeching noise. So I contacted EcoFlow, and that's where the trouble started. Trying to deal with customer service was terrible. If you tried to ring them after you'd emailed them, it messed everything up. They said, oh, we can get it sorted when they're on the phone, and then it seemed to mess anything that the emails were doing. They just stopped getting back to you. So you send more emails. It'd take sometimes a week for them to reply to your email. This is why it took me above 6 months to get anywhere, because if you're thinking just a general conversation of about 4-5 emails, and there's a week in between and replying to each email, even though I email straight back, and it's always a different person that answers the email, so they're not quite sure what's going off, so you have to explain everything all over again. It just drove me absolutely nutty. I was ready for pulling my hair out. So we went through a hot summer not having an air conditioning unit. We finally got a replacement after 3 or 4 sessions of them promising, and then they're not turning up. And then when you email them again, they said, oh, well, we haven't got that. We're going to send you something else. They even said they'd send me an EcoFlow Wave 3, the new one that had just come out, but I could only have a reconditioned one. And I could only have a reconditioned 2 as well. But they was, because they're moving over to the 3, there weren't many about, was they? So they wouldn't replace it with a new one. They'd only replace it with a reconditioned one. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they'd have sent it back and they'd repaired it and sent me that one back. But they got to wait till there was somebody else's one that had been sent back that had been reconditioned. So it was just a sodding nightmare. And then when it come to delivering it, they didn't tell you they were going to deliver it. They didn't tell you they were going to pick the other one up. So luckily I was in, and I'd got people turn up at the door expecting it all packaged and ready to go. And nobody had told me a thing. Luckily, I'd saved the old box. So it was a quick, can you wait 2 minutes? Let's get it packaged up. So I get the new one, well, the reconditioned one, this one that's working now, and I was really not very pleased. Mine was spotless, not a mark on it, because it had hardly ever been used. This one has got scratches and bumps all over it, and the first time I put it on, because there's another thing that I'll tell you in a minute, they leak. As soon as I put it on and it started building up water inside, it started leaking out rust. I mean, the other one used to leak, but it didn't used to leak rust because it was a new unit. Goodness knows how old this is. So anyway, it's still working. So try and cut a long story short, we get this one, and it has worked ever since. We didn't use it an awful lot when we finally got it, because again, we've gone into the winter. Since we've had this heat wave, it's been in the front room, and it's not been off, and it's not failed, except for it's leaking. It don't leak from the pipe I showed you out the back, but if it's not completely flat, it's better if it's tilted slightly that way, downwards towards the back, towards where the pipe to take the water out comes from. But if it is tilted this way or slightly onto a side, it leaks out the front. We have to have it in the house on the coffee table, which is in front of the window for the vent. We have to have a rolled up towel, roll it 2 or 3 times and just stick it up to the front, and then it just lifts that front end up. That's the story of 2 EcoFlows. So would I buy again? I might take a risk on the new 3 if anything happens to this, because I do like it. It does do everything they say, and I love the little app which is on the phone. I like the idea you can use it off a battery, so now at the minute it's running straight off its battery. I've not got it plugged into anything. I've got solar panels for it, so I can run them outside, so it can be running completely off grid. And I like all these things about it, and when it works it's really good, but it's got these little things, and when it first came out there was a lot of YouTubers pointing out 1 or 2 things. My final thoughts on the EcoFlow Wave. Would I ever buy it again? Well, if I knew what I knew now, no, I would have not have bought it. It's caused me far too much stress, even though I do like it for a lot of things. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've got something from it, maybe a few insights into the Wave and the problems that you might encounter. Thanks for watching. See you next time.